The Pittsburgh Steelers made a huge draft pick in the third round of the 2025 NFL Draft. They selected Kaleb Johnson, running back from Iowa. This is a big-time selection. This is going to be a cornerstone player for the Steelers for quite some time. We're going to dig into his prospect profile. We're going to talk about how he fits in the Steelers, how he works for dynasty and redraft fantasy football, and we're going to listen to the coaches talk. We're going to watch those videos. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. Rookie camp is near in a few days. You're going to get to see your rookies on the field. I'm going to have those clips. We're going to talk ball on those players. We're covering your rookies. We're helping you in fantasy. It's all right here. Click that button right now. Stop missing out. Steelers fans, I'm going to have a lot of your clips from training camp I did last year and the year prior. You better hit that button just because of that. That being said, Arthur Smith loves this kid. He loves this kid. He fits this team. He's going to talk about that right now.
Excited about getting Kaleb Johnson in here. A really explosive running back that we spent some time with on a 30 visit here. One of the more instinctive backs I've watched in a couple of years coming out of the draft. Perfect fit, regardless of whatever run scheme you're running. He ran multiple at Iowa. Really impressive as a volume runner as the game went on. I think one of the more impressive stats you've seen as a fourth quarter, what he averaged in the fourth quarter, I believe it was over 5 yards per carry. It might have been closer to 6. We think he's a great culture fit. Obviously, extremely fired up to get Kaleb in here.
Questions?
He's a good fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kaleb Johnson fits well with the Pittsburgh Steelers, how they play the game. Physical running back that can pound it between the gut, can put the team on his shoulders. With a team that's very ambiguous at quarterback right now, but this is a running back that could be a top 5 back in the NFL. You're looking at James Conner plus moving forward. You're looking at a guy that can catch the ball a bit out of the backfield, but a guy that can rack up touch after touch after touch after touch and keep going later in the game. But Mike Tomlin also likes this kid. And we're going to listen to the draft day call when they decide to pick up Kaleb Johnson.
We're excited to have you. Get ready to work. We got a lot of work waiting on you, man. We're excited about being a part of your continued growth and development, man, as a player and as a young man. Come ready for all of that, all right?
Mike Tomlin likes this kid. Arthur Smith likes this kid. Kaleb Johnson is a great fit. I have him as a round 2 grade in the 2025 NFL Draft, and the Steelers do this every year. They find these values, they fall to them, they select them, and now they got a cornerstone piece, kind of like George Pickens a few years ago. Kaleb Johnson is another one of those players that's going to be a cornerstone asset. Coming out of high school, though, was not heavily recruited, 3-star prospect, went to Cal but decommitted, and we went to Iowa, and our freshman season there, we blew up. We were one of the better running backs in college football. We broke out early. 779 yards, 6 touchdowns. Second year there, sophomore season, we had some injuries. But we're so good that the guy that was producing there had to transfer out because we knew it was Kaleb Johnson's job all along. We put the stamp on things in 2024. 1,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, 22 balls caught. We upped all our stats. We were a workhorse, one of the top running backs in all college football. 4.42 yards after contact per attempt, 466 mixed tackles, over 1,000 yards after contact, big-time season. And then in the passing game, 11.9 yards after the catch per reception, which means we got some wiggle in space. We can make you miss, and we can get some yards in the open field, catch it in the flat. We're a receiving threat out of the backfield, not a true weapon, but we can catch the ball out of the backfield. We can keep those chains turning and burning no matter what the down and distance is. And you're talking about the receiving numbers. You got to remember, Iowa doesn't throw the ball much. The top target there last year had 47 targets, which is very low and well below average. He had 25 targets, which is very high when you're looking at a target share standpoint for a running back in college football. But we had some big games. 200 yards against Minnesota, 200 against Purdue, 187 against Iowa State, 173 against Troy, 166 against Washington, blew up on Wisconsin, Maryland, Purdue, Illinois State, Nebraska, Northwestern, racked it up on Ohio State, Michigan State, Northwestern, Nevada. Big time career from Kaleb Johnson. You guys got him in the 3rd round. We got size to this kid, 224 pounds, 4.57 40-yard dash. Comparable size-wise, speed-wise, a little bit to James Conner. Banger back between the tackles, productive, good feet, hard to bring down, hard-nosed kid. This guy can take touch after touch after touch and keep the licking. 99th percentile college dominator rating. He was the offense for Iowa. He was the offense. That's what that says. That is the market share of touchdowns and yards for his collegiate team. He had 99th percentile, 48.9%. He was his team's workhorse. He was the entire offense. That's what that says. 10.4% target share, 82nd percentile. Work in the passing game. When there's no work in the passing game, he was still getting work in the passing game. That's what that says. We got size. We got good BMI. We got a little pop in the step. Not the fastest guy out there, but we don't need to be. Running backs play the game in 5, 10, 20-yard chunks at a time. He's got the vision. He's got the size, strength, power, and he's got the fortitude to be a Steeler. He fits this team perfectly. Lunch pail running back that Mike Tomlin's going to love. He's going to love to get his hands on. He's going to love it in training camp. Very physical runner, what he's used to having. And it's almost like the NFL draft scripted with some of these picks. Like he fell to the Steelers in the 3rd round. A tremendous value here. A tremendous talent here for the 3rd round. Like it's almost like the draft is scripted, like this pick was so good for the Steelers. Jaylen Warren can't usurp this player. Like he's better than Jaylen Warren. Like we're looking James Conner plus. Like maybe even better. Like maybe one of the better Steeler running backs of all time is what we're looking at here. Maybe one of the top Steeler running backs of all time. That is what we're thinking about. Like we could be looking at one of the most productive runners ever. We keep the offensive line up. We get that up to par. We get up to par at quarterback. We could be having something special here with a 3rd round pick. Tremendous value. They're patient. This is a patient team when it comes to their draft picks. Just waiting to what comes to them and just taking the best player available. And this team is really good at building their ball club. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.